toast to their career.
The perfect combination, boy.
Hip hard legends in the South.
This is sports fans' only home for the hottest sports show around. These guys are on fire.
You're now listening to KJ and Shawn Mack. Now let's talk some damn sports.
I'm Shawn Mack, back with a look on this day in sports history for April 16th. In 1923, at the 27th Boston Marathon, Clarence DeMar won with a time of 2 hours, 23 minutes, 37.4 seconds for his second straight win. You know, I think about the athletes back in the days in the 20s. They could have been juicing and we wouldn't have known anything. So if you really want to push the issue, a lot of those records might not be valid, but you can't go back in time and legislate who was doping and who wasn't. We don't know. But just remember, a lot of those guys could have been taking whatever. The reason they started testing was because people start doing dirty things. So when did they start doing dirty things? Who knows? But I digress. In 1929, the New York Yankees became the first major league team to permanently feature numbers on the back of their uniforms. The numbers actually corresponded with the position in the batting order. You know, I actually never knew that. That's why I do this. I actually want to teach y'all a little something about sports history, and I actually learn a little bit about sports history. Whoever knew? Moving on. In 1935, 40-year-old future Hall of Famer slugger Babe Ruth debuts for the National League with a home run and a single in the Boston Braves' 4-2 win over the New York Giants in Boston. I knew he went to Atlanta, Babe Ruth that is, but I forget that was in the National League and he actually got to play in the National League. I would love to see what his numbers were like against the Yankees when he went to another team in the National League. I'll have those stats for you next time. And I digress. Moving on. In 1953, Philadelphia Phillies second baseman Connie Ryan bats 6 for 6 in a 14-12 defeat against the Pirates at Forbes Field in Pittsburgh. Imagine going 6 for 6 and your team still lose. You got to be like, you know what? There's nothing more I can do. And they lost 14-12. So they put up 12 points. The offense was definitely putting out some batting and hitting and home running in that game and run scoring. Connie Ryan. Never heard of him. First time hearing of him, so I'm bringing him to you. Moving on. In 1980, the late, great Arthur Ashe retires from professional tennis. I grew up knowing a lot about Arthur Ashe. The main thing is what he did for the black culture and moving us forward into tennis before Venus, before Serena, and before a lot of other African Americans started to play tennis. But the one thing that I always will remember about him was that he contracted HIV through a blood transfusion. And at that time in the 80s, we weren't really sure about HIV and what to do with it and how to treat it. And we didn't recognize that we could be giving people life-saving measures as far as blood transfusion when you lose a lot of blood. But we also could be giving them the disease as well. So rest in peace to Arthur Ashe. He did a lot for us. Rest in peace. We love you. Moving on. In 1987, Michael Jordan becomes the second NBA player in history to score 3,000 points in one season. Pretty sure it's been done a lot more since then. Probably have Cole probably did it. Kobe, LeBron probably has done it. Durant probably has done it. James Harden probably has done it. A lot of people has done it. But at that time in 1987, Jordan was the second player. And I'm pretty sure the first player was Wilt Chamberlain. I don't have to really even check that stat. I'm pretty sure. But I digress. Shouts out to Wilt Chamberlain. Rest in peace. And shouts out, as always, to the GOAT. The GOAT. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. In 2009, at the Laureus World Sports Award. Usain Bolt wins Sportsman of the Year. What can you say? He had an awesome year that year. He went to the Olympics. He had the gold medals. I think he got 5 that year. If I'm not mistaken, he got 4 or 5 medals that year, golden. And what can you say? It's Usain Bolt. What's crazy is as time passed, we hear nothing about Usain Bolt. We used to see him on commercials around the Olympic time or around track and field time, the qualifying times, but we don't see much about him anymore. Is history going to forget about Usain Bolt? I hope not. What I mean by that is we don't speak on him until it's Olympic time and it's time to see if his records will be broken, which I'm pretty sure they will, but not in my lifetime. I don't think so. People are getting faster, but shouts out to Usain Bolt. We love you, bro. You was flying around that corner. Gotta go a little more up with that, right? But I didn't want my hands to be out the camera, but you know what I'm saying. You know his little pose. Moving on. And finally, in 2019, Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson becomes the highest paid player in NFL history with a 4-year, $140 million extension, including a record $65 million signing bonus. Now, when I was reading this is what I was thinking. So this 2019, we're in 2022. That's 3 years ago, roughly. And look what happened. He took all that money, became the highest paid player in NFL history with the $65 million signing bonus. Then he complained that the Seahawks actually didn't put enough around him, enough talent, so he went to Denver, as we know. Now, my question is, what do you think they were going to get the money from? You want them to go into debt? You want them to go into the salary cap, into the luxury cap? I don't think so. So what he should have done for $140 million, he maybe should have took $90 million to $100 million, and then maybe 45 on the signing bonus. That way they had a little more money with the cap and be a little under and spend money on talent for you. You can't take all the money and then say, well, they can't put people around me because you took all the money. Similar to why Tyreek Hill had to be let go at Kansas City. He didn't want to accept that. Someone was willing to give him a lot more. So Patrick Mahomes' $250 million contract sucked up a lot, so they weren't able to afford Tyreek Hill. So quarterbacks need to think about that. Either you take the money and just deal with whatever your team is going through and get whoever you can and try to draft well, or take less money, a la Tom Brady doing his run in New England. Understood? Makes sense, right? All right. And as always, before I get on out, with my little country accent, we make them roll. I would like to wish a happy birthday to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He turned 75 today. And happy birthday to Bill Belichick. He turned 70 today. So to Kareem, what can I say? You had a great high school run, a great college run, and a great professional run in the NBA. You're one of the GOATs. A lot of the older people like to say you are the GOAT. LeBron's inching up on your record, and you're getting a little antsy there, saying a few things that no one really knows what you're saying. But we understand. You're getting up there in age. And I loved you on Airplane when I was young as a kid. I always wondered how they fit that 7-foot frame into that cockpit, but that's a whole nother story. But shouts out to Kareem. Still happy that you're here. We love you. Happy birthday, bro. And to Bill Belichick, what can I say? I didn't like you. I still really don't like you as far as sports related and how that goes. I think you cheated. Like Cartman said, you cheat. Oh, when it get to these kids. But I have to say, you are one of the greatest coaches of all times. And I do have love for you as time passed by. As time passed by, I started to like the things that I didn't like when I was younger. And Bill Belichick is one of them. Let's see if you can win without Brady. Who knows? Let's see what Matt can do. No one really knows, but I think you're a great coach, and we'll see how many more years you have left. So happy birthday, Bill. So happy birthday to Kareem, and happy birthday to Bill Belichick. All right, I've been Shawn Mack, back with a look on this day in sports history for April 16th. And this is Sports Fans Only. First down.